Shalom. Back on the quick lesson. First and foremost, as always, before I get started, I'm going to turn to the east and give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash, and next double honors to the head apostle / elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching who do it will. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you Sirach. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether you will hear or forbear. And I'm just going to be reading out of the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26 in the Apocrypha, okay? And once again, it's another episode of Words of Wisdom. I got up this morning, I wanted to do some reading, felt like I might as well just read to you guys, all right? Lord willing, it's edifying, and Lord willing, it feeds the spirit of the saints. Okay, let's go ahead and get started, jump right into it. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double." All right, so you women out there, the Lord called you to be a helpmeet to your husband. All right, and when you do that, you make life a lot easier. When you do your job well, he can do his job well to please the Heavenly Father and Heavenly God's Son. All right, when you are that helpmeet, that support system, then it makes life easier so that he can go out there on the highways and byways, preach the word to gather the elect. All right, so that's what your duty is. You are that support system. All right, that's how you play your part in the body of the anointed. All right, in different things. You could cook for brothers. You know what I'm saying? For your man specifically, but you could cook. You can make garments. Make necklaces, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you could do to help further the ministry. You know what I'm saying? And make life easier, so that your man can do the work of the Lord. All right. And also, remaining faithful to your man. So, man, you really shouldn't be worrying about what your woman is doing for the most part, because you should be focused on preaching the gospel. But you know what I'm saying, we are in the flesh, and Apostle Paul, he said if a man does marry a woman and he's with a woman, that it's going to be much sorrow in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? But that's so it's already kind of expected. But once again, man, for you hopeful elect ladies, you ought to be your man's peace. You see, you ought to be making it so that life is easier on him, and he can go out there and preach the gospel as much as possible. Verse 2. All right, it says, a virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. All right, see, that's what a virtuous woman does. Verse 3, a good wife is a good portion, shall be given to the portion of them that fear the Lord. All right, so for you brothers out there, okay, you know what I'm saying, it makes me think about Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. All right, don't worry about getting you a woman. Don't worry about, having a nice car, house, anything in this life. For one, because we're going to receive everything, Lord, when we get that number on the other side. That's number one. But also, number two, the Lord, he'll bless you. He'll bless you on this side according to what he wants you to have. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's Proverbs chapter 30, verses 6 and 7, somewhere around there. It says, King Solomon, he said, bless me, make me not rich, that I forget thee, but make me not poor, lest I sin against you. You see? So the Lord will give you, he said, just give me what's convenient. The Lord will give you exactly what you need. All right? And that includes, a virtuous woman, if that's his will for you. All right? But you got to trust in his judgment. If he thinks that it's going to distract you, then he'll, he may hold back, because he wants you to stay focused on the kingdom. All right? Because you only have 24 hours in a day. And, we got to keep it real, man. Apostle Paul, he said, I would have that you would remain, unmarried as myself, meaning not conjoined with a woman, because once again, much sorrow comes through that. And then also the one who's not married, his mind is on the things that please the Most High, versus a man who is married, he's trying to please his wife. You see? So, that's just a quick little note on that. It says, verse 4, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart towards the Lord, Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. That's one of my favorite scriptures. That's why I chose to read this. Verse 5, it says, there be three things that my heart feareth, and for the fourth I was sore afraid: the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death. All right, gathering together of an unruly multitude. It's like the sun's moving up on me. We seen that, with those dudes from that camp that had so like I'm just gonna move over here away from the sun. We seen that with those dudes from that camp that was trying to fight the Palestinians. That was unruly. That was unwise. See? He said, the Lord said these things are worse than death. Right, and I'm holding the camera myself, so Salaki, if it's a little shaky. Normally I have it stooped. I'm able to just read, but my phone broke, so I'm using a different device now. So I gotta hold it myself with this one. But anyway, Salaki. Sirach chapter 27, Sirach chapter 26, and verse, where was I at? Verse 6, it says, but a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. All right, so it says, sorrow of the heart is a woman that's jealous over another woman. Don't pretty much, ladies, don't be stressing out your man. You got a brother in the truth. Don't be stressing out with nonsense. All right. Also, even though it's not it's lawful, it may not be expedient, but brothers are allowed to have multiple wives. All right. The men of Israel, the Lord allows for that. We don't practice it in this time for the most part. Most brothers just have one wife, but I'm just making an anecdote, man. Don't be stressing your man out. But for you brothers out there, once again, man, it's not, even though it's lawful, you got a lot of wicked dudes who are trying to build harems and stuff like that, and you shouldn't be focusing on that. Really, if you really giving your all, your 110% to this ministry, which is what you should be doing in this time, okay? More so as we see the days approaching, you really barely got time for one woman. You shouldn't be trying to deal with 4 or 5, however many. But of course, brothers, they want to be into the truth for the wrong reasons, man. All right. But anyways, let's keep reading. Verse Sirach chapter 26 and verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. See, so that's what I'm saying. Ladies, you play a big part in how how your man is doing. Once again, going back to verse 1, a man who has a virtuous wife, his days shall be double. You literally extend his days. Of course, the Heavenly Father does that. It's on the will of the Father, but what I'm saying. Stress kills, man. Stress kills. All right, let's keep reading. Verse 8. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. That's a word of wisdom for you brothers. All right, you see a woman, you can see it. You get to know her. You can see that Jezebel spirit on. You can see it in their face. A haughty woman. Look up the definition of haughty. All right, the whoredom of a haughty woman can be known. The whoredom of a woman can be known by her haughtiness and by her eyelids. All right, them big old eyelashes. Okay, and now I'm not saying that every woman that wears them eyelashes is automatically a whore. I'm just making a point that pretty much essentially most of the women who who are promiscuous and troublesome, they are a lot of times very vain. All right, I'll just put it that way. So let's see, verse 10. It says, "If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow." So you get that's talking about. All right, you get what that's talking about. Verse 13. "The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones." See that? "A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed." And that's beautiful because you know what I'm saying, the man is a spiritual leader, and don't know, especially a man of the Lord, don't no man want to come home to a woman that's trying to usurp authority over him and all that. All right, you know, you brothers in the truth, that's the last thing that you want to deal with, is one of these strong and independent women. And I don't have to say that. Okay, the brothers, they make that very clear. The elders, head apostles, you know, they make that very clear. You know, once again, Apostle Paul said it's better if you really don't even have a woman. And then he even said for men who do, act as if you don't. And not saying neglect her, because, you know, you are obligated to give her, you know, time and attention, you know, take care of her, you know, if that's your woman. But for the most part, man, 100% this ministry got to be your main focus. All right. So where was I at? Let's go verse 14. I'm gonna read it again. It says, "A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed." All right, a woman that lets her, you know, goes into her feminine and lets her husband be the spiritual leader and teacher as he's supposed to. "A shamefast and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued." A shamefast, meaning a shamefast. You can look at the definition of that. Essentially, though, like you know, a woman who feels shame when she goes off, just like anybody should. But you got a lot of shameless dogs out here. You got a lot of women out here that, and we'll get that later on down. A lot of women out here that they have no sense of honor, no sense of morality, no sense of shame for wrongdoing. They just do anything and everything. All right, and you know what I'm saying, you don't want to be with a woman like that, man. It's gonna be pure chaos. All right, I believe most brothers who will listen to this video have been through that situation before. They've been with women that were not the best. Verse 16, it says, "As the sun when it ariseth in the light in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. As the clear light is upon the holy candlestick, so it is the beauty of the face in ripe age. As the golden pillars are upon the sockets of silver, so are the fair feet with a constant heart. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusteth in the goodness of thy stock." Okay, verse 21. "So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. And harlot shall be accounted as spittle." You know, harlot 304 should be accounted as spit. But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Once again, you know, a good wife doubles her husband's days. A wicked woman is given as portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So, you women out there, if you constantly run across wicked 2/3 ninjas, you might want to check yourself, okay? Because if you was a godly woman, the Lord's going to give you to a godly man, all right? A man that fears the Lord, all right? Verse 24, "A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. A shameless one shall be counted as a dog," a female dog, you know what that is. "But she that is shameful will fear," she that is shamefast will fear the Lord. Shamefast, once again, you go off, you do something wrong, you feel shame for it, and you correct it. All right, this is good. It's a good trait. This is maturity. All All right. Verse 26, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. A loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepares such a one for the sword. All right, so, you got to continue in the Lord's goodness. It says in Romans chapter 11, verse 22. It says, notice the severity on them which fell, but in the goodness of them which continue, that you may also continue in the Lord's goodness, or else thou shalt also be cut off. Verse 29, a merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong, and a huckster shall not be freed from sin. All right, let's go back through. You guys look at the definition of these words, but yeah, this is some beautiful scriptures right here, man. This has been Words of Wisdom. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26. I'm reading from today. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect, where we may be scattered across the four winds of heaven, four corners of the earth. That being said, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Until next time, Shalom.